who was like, oh hey, let's give the most unfunny person ever a show. Yeah, great idea. I can't believe this is a show. It would have been perfectly fine on YouTube or anything that isn't TV.
Pause. Yes, that was really on TV, and it might just be the most immature way I've ever seen someone on television try to combat comments instead of actually taking the constructive criticism they've been given and using it to potentially turn their show into a success. Let's get into it.
My arm.
Hey guys, it's Lilly and welcome back to Spill Sesh. Today's video, we are going to be doing a deep dive on Lilly Singh because I feel like a lot of people have been talking about her and I just keep watching more and more videos and realizing that I myself haven't really expressed my opinion on what's going on or even like informed you guys. So I don't know if a lot of you know what's going on or if you guys are watching her show or what, but we are going to dive right on into it because I have made a discovery on my own that I haven't seen the people that I watch make videos about this specifically, but two people that I really want to give credit to that I watched their videos a ton recently are Drew Gooden and James Marriott. Oh my god, I do not want to butcher that, but like I love the video that you made. I think everything is super valid and the criticism that you're giving is constructive criticism. I don't want anybody to get this skewed as bullying, insulting, none of that. I think that whether you have a movie, a TV show, a short film, any limited series, anything like that, there are always going to be critics, and those critics actually determine whether or not your show gets canceled. And I think that the power of listening to constructive criticism when you still have the chance to save what you might lose, like her show is obviously on the line, and I feel as though if Lilly wants to keep doing the show and keep growing as a late night host, she's definitely going to have to start listening to this criticism and really work her booty off. I want to start by saying that, you know, Lilly Singh, a YouTuber, went to the Met Gala, has suddenly just skyrocketed through celebrity lifestyle and all of a sudden has a late night talk show, A Little Late with Lilly Singh. That is the name of the show. It's about a year ago when she announced it and it started in September. And apparently they have just filmed a bunch of episodes. They would record between 2 and 3 episodes every single time she would have a taping of her show. And because of that, they stockpiled a bunch of episodes and they're just kind of releasing it. And right now they're not in production because they're waiting to hear back from the studio if they are going to get renewed or not for a second season. I know that critics play a big part in this. The difference between TV and YouTube is that just because you're getting low views doesn't mean you stop making videos. You keep going, you keep improving, you work on your craft, and hopefully people will come either back to you or start watching you. But on TV, it's kind of like a one-shot situation where you don't take advice from people that are saying you're not doing a good job, you're going to be out and never have a chance to come back unless it's on something way different, like, a completely different network or you're on a different show. So the issue that a lot of people had with Lilly in the beginning were her jokes. Although she was getting accused of stealing jokes, a lot of the jokes that she was telling had to do with talking bad about white people, talking bad about white men specifically, and constantly mentioning that she is a bisexual woman of color. Now, there is nothing wrong with Lilly talking about her sexuality, the fact that she's a woman of color. I think this is amazing for not even just the YouTube community, but TV audiences. Everyone should be seeing this on TV. Like a woman, a late night host, that's a woman. That is such a big deal, period. But the fact that, she's representing so many different communities and they put her on TV and gave her this platform, that is sadly so rare. And I really wanted her to knock it out of the park. I wanted her to pave the way for more women to get opportunities like this. When I'm saying pave the way, I mean she did a really awesome job. Maybe not just women, but other YouTubers would get considered to do more television. I know there's a big misconception between the ability that influencers have, social media stars have, and actors have, and that you're not a real celebrity if you're just famous on the internet. There are a bunch of people that have made it through and crossed over and are actual celebrities, to the point where when people are writing articles about them, they're no longer using YouTuber blank. Every time I look up something about Lilly, it still says YouTuber blank. It's not just late night host. It's late night host YouTuber. And I don't think that being a YouTuber is insulting, but I think that the way that it's being written, it's you have to constantly remind people, oh, she's a YouTuber, but she has this late night show. And that kind of leaves it to audiences to think, oh, okay, well then I kind of get why it's a little weird or a little off or something like that. And I feel I want Lilly to get to the point where people are yeah, that's a really great late night host. But it's starting to get to the point where Lilly is getting constructive criticism from people that really want her to improve and take their advice. And because she's not doing that, she's getting more and more resistant. And her resistance just reads through the screen. You can tell that she is upset people don't want her to keep making the same jokes about race, but she keeps doing it anyways, but just 10 times more angrier. And she's spending a lot of her time making sure that people know that she's not affected by the comments that she's getting. But you can tell she's really affected by the comments. She just doesn't want to listen to the comments. So I don't know if that's an ego thing or what, but when you're posting videos dancing to hate comments, we know that it's got to be affecting you somehow, because we are cringing, and it's not because of the dancing.
All I heard was racism towards white people and white men. Why is racism towards white people okay, but not for POC? Racism needs to end, and this nonsense is why it never will.
The issue that people have had with Lilly constantly talking about who she is and what she represents is that it seemed like that was the only direction for the show, and that was going to be her brand for the show. I think you should be able to talk about that stuff no matter what, because I think a lot of people need to be reminded how amazing and cool this opportunity is. But at the same time, you don't ever really want to see the same thing over and over again. It gets repetitive, it gets tiring, it gets exhausting. And the worst part is that when she is talking about what she represents, she does that while simultaneously just completely taking a dump on white people, specifically white men. She just tells so many jokes about it, and that is not the direction we're trying to go in. We're trying to bring equality into the workplace. We're not trying to say women are better than men and therefore men should be at the bottom. Men should make less money. That's not what we're saying at all. We're saying everyone is equal, whatever race you are, whether you're a man or a woman or you don't associate with either one of those labels, it shouldn't matter what you are. One is not better than the other. That is the thing. And Lilly is really, really out here just trying to dump on men, and it gets exhausting. It gets tiring, because you know what? People are going to sit at home watching this show. It comes on at 1 a.m. So it's most of the time people are going to be watching this in bed. And let's say a woman is watching this in bed and her husband is right there. He's going to be turn this off. This is rude. This is annoying.
And I get where she's coming from, because for years and years and years, men have made so many jokes about women and they have been degrading and rude. But we are at a point in time where we are trying to get equality. We want everyone to be on the same level, and we cannot get there by doing what men have done to us for years. We cannot get anything accomplished if we are going to just trash them. That's not how it's going to work. And I think Lilly needs to realize she is not going to be more successful by talking bad about her white comrades on late night television.
There is a way to have girl power and be for women and be encouraging and represent a whole community without having to speak it out loud. Look at Ellen. We all know about Ellen. She doesn't have to remind us every single episode that she is a woman on TV who is married to another woman. She doesn't need to tell us every single show, and she certainly doesn't need to talk about men or straight people. Anyways, you guys, a lot of people have just been criticizing not only like her jokes, but her entire demeanor when she's interviewing people. She seems uncomfortable. She's obviously never interviewed people before this whole experience. She just made kid-friendly YouTube videos. This is not her forte whatsoever.
So here, I can be real with you for a second. I am good at a lot of things, like obviously. But one of the things I'm not.
I kind of want to know how they decided to make this whole decision. Like, it just was very random. When she got the job, I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. Like, I just never seen her on the red carpet before. Like, even Liza Koshy has experience interviewing celebrities. She interviewed celebrities for Vogue on the carpet of the Met Gala, and she had to interview some really big people. I certainly couldn't see Lilly doing that at all, but I don't know, you guys. So I decided to watch her monologue because a lot of people were saying, you know, the laughter in the background, people laugh even when she's not telling a joke and all this stuff. And I think I've pinpointed the difference between her and some of the other late night hosts. So I started watching her monologue and I just was like, what is off here? Something is off, where I feel like she's not connecting to the audience. And some people are saying it's because she's awkward, it's because she's not funny. But I had to think to myself, sometimes Jimmy Fallon is just not doing it for me. He's not funny. And Jimmy Kimmel is the same way. Seth Meyers, all these late night guys, sometimes their jokes are just not funny. But for some reason, they still seem super personable. And I'm not just saying that because they're guys or whatever. That's not it. That's not it. So in Lily's monologue, she is like just locked in on the teleprompter. If you guys don't know what that is, it's this thing that's connected to the camera. It's basically just scrolling a script, and whoever's on camera looks like they're looking at the camera, but they're actually reading. And when Lilly is doing her monologue and she's reading on the teleprompter, it is so obvious that she's reading on the teleprompter, and she's so focused in on it that she's not spending a whole lot of time getting personal with the audience, making eye contact, making it an experience. We all have to know that there are audience members in the audience of these late night shows. They show them so much during the tapings of the show. You can see it on TV. You can see the people that are sitting there observing, clapping. Sometimes they participate. But it's just like, we know that there are people literally sitting less than a foot away from her when she's doing this. And I feel super uncomfortable that she is just reading from this screen, super locked in, and these people are just watching her. And I can only imagine how uncomfortable it must be to just have eyes on you while you're reading something. So when I was looking at Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, you know, every time they're doing a monologue or they're talking directly to the camera, they're actually not looking at the teleprompter. Most of them, it seems like they've memorized a majority of what they're going to say. They've memorized their jokes. They're just having a conversation with the audience. They're looking around and they're having fun with it. This feels so forced and so uncomfortable. Lilly feels like, you know, she's nervous. She has all this pressure on her. Everybody's looking. Don't stumble. Don't mess up on your words. Oh gosh, oh gosh. But Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, I know they've been doing it for a while, you guys, but I feel like, you know, I just watched their interviews and studied kind of like their body language and compared it to Lily's. And in a matter of like a couple of minutes, I already know something that Lilly could maybe use to practice with. And I don't understand why she's so against criticism like this, because it's not like I don't want her to succeed. I really, really, really want her to get the second season. I don't want her show to be canceled. I really think that she could be making, you know, such a big impact on the world and for girls and women of color if she gets another season. And I feel like maybe the entire show would be a little different if she just kind of looked at the audience more and was talking to them, and not in like a charactery way, like yeah, you guys are like that, right? Yeah, like we know what's going on. Like that was funny. That was a funny joke, right? Like, no. Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon are having a conversation with their audience. They're like, you guys saw that tweet today. If you guys didn't, this was the tweet. This is what it said. And I don't know. It just seems like they're more relaxed because they memorize what they're going to say. They feel more comfortable with the delivery and they can really kind of make it casual and fun. Through time, Lilly should be able to do that. But she's been so resistant to any sort of critique that she's gotten. It's really upsetting. It's so sad. And I just hope that somebody on her team says to her that this is not like her YouTube channel where she can just keep doing whatever she wants. She has to please people that are giving her money to do this every single day. I think when the decision to keep this going is out of her hands, you think she want to impress the people that are making the decision of whether or not she gets to keep doing this. But I don't know. It was in October that she actually started to address some of the things that people were saying about her. She said, "Imagine making a living by posting mean videos to YouTube. The downward spiral, the bad energy, the karma, the entitlement, the lack of creativity, the waste of potential. Young kids, don't follow this example. It's not good for the soul or longevity of your career." And I know she's talking about a lot of the people that I said that I watched personally critique her entire show. And I'm not here to say that I don't like Lilly, I don't like her show, I don't want the show to continue. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying there's so much potential. And I feel like this show could be so much more amazing than it is right now. I think, she is a little bit more comfortable interviewing people. I think now it's time to really focus in on the relationship that she has with her audience members and making it more comfortable for viewers at home to watch what she's doing. Maybe tone it down a little bit in terms of trying to be funny, because I feel like when people are trying to be funny, it's not funny. I think she can be a little bit more laid back and casual. The jokes will hit if they're funny. If they're not, then just keep going. Let me know if you guys want Lilly Singh's show to get renewed, what you think about all of this, what you think about the whole body language thing, if you think that interacting with the audience more instead of just reading the teleprompter would make a big difference for her. I hope that she gets renewed. I hope that this all works out for her. And anyways, let me know what you guys think. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.